Hey folks, welcome to Divide by Zero. Today we're going to look at a company called BetterCapital. BetterCapital helps any landlord buy properties and operate them with the same efficiency and scale as the big guys can. The way that they do this is that they use software and big data to help landlords acquire properties more efficiently and operate them more efficiently as well. This comes from their own firsthand experience of being landlords for basically the last decade, and all of those best practices that they now want to bring into this software and help other landlords. So this is going to be a longer edit of this pitch. It's about 10 or 15 minutes long. Please let us know what you think of it and whether you find this content useful. Let's go check it out.
I was living in Emeryville, and at that time there was not a lot of real estate networking. Real estate was still kind of scary back in 2010 because you heard about strategic foreclosures and so on and so forth. So it was all doom and gloom. But I kind of felt like we're near the bottom. So I started a group on a meetup for real estate networking, and since then that's become the largest real estate networking group in the Bay Area. So I've got about 5,000 members in there.
We'd love to hear a bit about your company. So what is it that you're doing? What's the problem that you're solving?
A lot of people become accidental landlords.
Yeah.
Well, we want to change that. We want to make it so that you're better educated, you're better informed, you have better access to deals. And just now we live in 2020 where a lot of data is available for you to make intelligent decisions. But for real estate, there really wasn't. If I needed to do a refinance, I had all these documents and I'd be searching for them on my hard drive or a thumb drive or on Gmail and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that was an issue. Reminders, right? And then able to forecast to see, where should I invest next? What kind of opportunities are available to me? So I'd be searching all over the usual websites trying to find deals. Mm-hmm. So we both encountered the same kinds of issues, right? Mm-hmm. We weren't getting a real-time picture of our portfolio. And after talking to my friends, I'm like, hey, how do you measure your performance? And they're like, well, as long as the rent check comes in, I'm good, Yeah. And I'm like, do you know what your tax savings are? Do you know what your rate of return is? What's your ROI?
Yeah, what's your cap rate? What's your GRM? All those things.
Yeah.
If I'm understanding correctly, you're trying to get a better, more real-time look and analysis at how your investments are doing, but specifically in real estate.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Ankur, think of it like what we are in a simple terms. We're trying to solve. We're trying to be a mint.com for real estate.
So we call it 3 T's: tracking, training, and then transactions. There's no formal education for how to become a real estate investor. There's no courses. You can become a real estate agent or a broker, but there's no real unbiased training available to how to become a real estate investor. Okay. So we want to provide that.
I'm going to actually make a jump forward and tell me if these assumptions or anything I'm saying is correct. So if you have your own deals in the system and you know what those rate of returns are, and because you folks are essentially auditing that by having it calculated and verified, then you can also syndicate those deals out to the very same people that are uploading their own deals.
Exactly.
Everybody is doing things on Excel, man. It's just not scalable. Everybody is doing things on Excel, right? And it's just not scalable. And if you go to these guys, hey, all we have to do is we are working on thought leaders to brand ambassadors, so-called brand ambassadors in each one of these space, and then have them promote or do a demo of our platform in their YouTube channel or whatever, right? And then boom, if you see everybody is hungry for a tool like this, and trust me, and if it is free, why not, right?
Sure. Well, let's see it then. I want to check it out now. All righty. All right, time for a demo.
This is fun stuff. Yeah. All right, great.
Yeah, and part of this is also to make the experience more fun for the people presenting.
All right, beautiful. All right, so our main site is bettercapital.us. and then you'll click on a sign in. You'll come here. You can either create an account or you can log in through Gmail. I have a demo account. I'm just going to log into my demo account. Here's what the dashboard would look like. I want to show you how to add a new property to the system. So really quick, I'm just going to randomly pick a property. So here's a property. In this case, you can track a rental note you may have on the MLS for sale, anything of that nature. In this case, this is going to be a rental. Here, the lease is $950. It's monthly, and the rent is due on the 1st. It'll show up on my calendar. Again, it's optional.
Okay.
Over here, we have a calculator for calculating your payments. PIMI, it's all here. There's no HOA.
Does any of this information come in automatically, or do you have to enter all of this by hand?
Okay, good question. The first time around, you have to onboard a property. So there is a slight onboarding process that you need to go through. Now, you may have noticed that some of these fields were actually filled in. So what we do is we go to third-party systems, public information, and we try to bring in as much information as we have available publicly about that property. So once you provide us with an address, we'll do a search on the back end and bring in as much information as possible.
Let's just say, for example, I had my property manager in Rochester, New York.
Yes.
She would take 10% for the fee, and then there were additional fees like advertising or placing a tenant, repairs, plumbing, things like that.
Yeah.
How would one track that in this system?
Very good question. So, a couple of things. Most property managers, they're using some kind of a property management system already. They'll be sending you an itemized list of their expenses related to that activity. We can ingest that data and parse it and give it to the user, no problem.
Okay, got it, cool. So can we talk about the financing? So how much are you looking to raise? And
So we're looking to raise $500,000 right now from what I would say are angel or early stage investors. We're going to raise some of that from real estate investors that I'm already familiar with, they understand the pain point. They're high net worth people, so we're going to raise some from them. But we would like some professional money to also join hands. Mm-hmm. Our goal is to raise $2 million, but the friends and family round is about $500,000.
But so of this $500,000 that you're raising now, how much of it is soft circled for investors?
About 200 to 250. We have a soft commit for.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it worth talking you through how we make decisions at Bling Capital and then what next steps can look like?
Yes.
So we typically invest, at seed or at the seed stage, we can do it pre-product or after. We're sort of we're open to both. And I really think that there's only 2 data points available at the seed stage. And so the first is how good are the founders, and then how good is the product. So I like that you have a lot of experience in this field. I like that I know both of you, or at least Ram Kumar. So I have a bit of a background there. It might be a little bit early for Bling Capital, but I want to still bring it onto the radar here. I could help get you connected to that. Whether or not we invest would, I still think, be helpful for you.
What do you think of the idea?
I like it. I think the only questions you're going to get are around competition. So I've seen a lot of pitches that cover a very similar business model, really targeting that sub 50 doors target market. WeWork collapse is pushing a lot of people with tech and real estate experience into the market. So I think to the effect that you can carve off something different there, that narrative will be strengthened. In particular, I think the strongest asset and part of your narrative is your groups. So those Facebook groups are so important for driving early acquisition and early usage. And it's already your aggregated audience. So there's a lot of things that are really good about that. Now, if anything, I would try to double down on that. We have 5,000 members and they post 10,000 pieces of content every week. Something, it can be arbitrary, but sort of plant the scale and importance of that and how you've built and curated that over time, I think those types of things will continue to strengthen the story that you're going out with.
Beautiful, beautiful. If Ram and I can help you in any way, reach out to us. But this is this.
If it gets me follows or subscribers or page views, then I'm happy to participate. So this is really interesting. Let's reconnect in a couple days. Do shoot me that email for MetaProp in the meantime, and then I'll try to think through some other investors as well. So I know Ram and Bobby because I actually worked with Ram at Facebook. That's how he and I have that history and how he was able to connect with me. But after hearing about this pitch, I actually realized that I have a competing investment in a company called Proper. While they're not directly competitive, they're actually close enough that it's not appropriate for me to make an investment in this type of company. But that being said, I am genuinely committed to helping every entrepreneur that pitches me. And so in this case, I help them get connected with some of the great property and real estate investors out there like MetaProp. I'm confident that those meetings will go well, and regardless, Ram and Bobby will be able to raise their capital, not just because of who they are, but the company that they're building, the firsthand experience that they bring, and that they are already customers of their own platform. So I'm optimistic about the future of BetterCapital, and more importantly, just for any real estate investor out there to be able to make better decisions and operate their companies more efficiently. So thanks for watching. This is Ankur from Divide by Zero.